Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and I'm your host, Beautiful Me, and I'm here to give you guys some amazing tips to help you guys become more efficient anglers. Now, the first tip I'm going to be giving you guys is how to look at a pond. What should you be looking for when looking for fish? What I'm going to tell you is to look for points of interest. What are points of interest? You may be asking yourself. Basically, points in a pond where bass could be hiding. Now, if you think about it, where would you be if it's really hot? Under shade. So, you'd be around shade. Now, that should already give you enough information about where you should be looking. Look under shade, under trees where shades are around. Look around the tree logs look around tree logs. Look around mats. Look around weeds. Look around places like that, because bass will more likely than not be around these parts of the pond you're in. Another tip that I want to give you guys is always be prepared. Be ready for the situation at hand. Now, when I say situation at hand, I don't mean just bass fishing situations or fishing situations. I'm talking more about medical situations. Now, I have a first aid kit. Now, the Be Smart Get Prepared, no, that's not the brand of it. That's kind of embarrassing. Well, if you see this at Walmart, it's like 20 bucks. Beautiful. It literally saved my butt more than I can count. Now, I'm telling you, one time I was fishing by a river, I touched poison ivy, and it had this little pad that I could use to wipe off the poison off it, right? And then bam, stopped almost instantly after using it, and I was good to continue fishing. Another thing that it really helped me out with is when I got cut in the face by a wacky rig. I don't want to talk about that, but all you need to know is I had everything I needed to take care of it right away, and so I could continue fishing. Well, I didn't continue much longer. My parents got pissed off at me because it was like one of the first times they left me alone at a pond. Quite embarrassing, I know. Does it matter? Not really. Another way to be prepared out in the water, more than just medical, just fishing wise. Let's say I'm at a pond and I throw my first cast and there's not that much line on it. I couldn't even get that far out. Like my spool fully spooled out. Have line with you. And also in this med kit, I know my nose is really itchy, so I'm going to do not a lot. Fishing line. I got basically the two lines that I use the most on both rods. I don't have line for my little rod, but what are you going to do? So basically have line on you, because you could get into a situation where you don't have that much line on you, or you have a really bad bird's nest and you end up losing a lot of line and you can't continue fishing. And honestly, just having this line on you will save you lots of trouble. Now, another tip that I'm going to be giving you guys to become more efficient anglers is that when you're fishing, you're not looking for the biggest fish all the time. You're looking for numbers. You want to catch fish when you're starting out. Now, it's not wise to look for the biggest fish in the lake when you're first starting out. It's not. Don't make the same mistake I made, because that ended up screwing me over in a lot of trips, and a lot of really good fishing spots I mistook as garbage ponds. And then when I go over back to them again, I'm catching fish out of them, and I'm like, what? I thought this place sucked. And I'm thinking, and it was like, you're wasting your time if you're trying to go for the biggest fish, because you're probably thinking, I'm going to throw a 12-inch worm in a little body of water with a 16-pound monofilament. Straight. No leader, nothing like that. Straight monofilament, 16-pound test. Because that's exactly what I did, except not 12 inches. I used like a 7-inch worm. Now, that ended up catching my PB. But then again, that was the only fish I caught in 5 hours. And that was like near the beginning of the trip. I was happy I caught the 5-pounder, but I was a little salty because I didn't see any other fish. Now, then again, like, if you think about it, you're only going to catch fish once in a while if you do this, man. Like, you're not going to always catch amazingly huge fish. You're usually going to catch... What you want to catch bass. You don't want to catch a huge bass It's like, would you rather? Let me ask you this question: would you rather catch a lot of good, okay sized bass, or one, like every single day you go out for the little bass, or every once in a while you'll catch a really good bass, or in my case, the same bass you would have caught if you used lighter stuff. Now, it sucks to say. If you're using no, of course I didn't use a 7-inch worm the whole year round. I use other stuff. I use smaller stuff too, but I was confused. Just the line itself messed me over for a year, and only until March of this year did I decide, okay, I need to step down my line game. I went to 10-pound tests. And that same day, the first time using it, I caught my first bass of the year. Hollywood. Now, I've only been fishing for around a year. You know, that's not a long time. But I've been able to actually hone in my skill to the point where I can catch fish every time I go out. And I'm not just talking panfish, I'm talking bass. Okay size one at that. I'm catching good numbers too. And within an hour or two of me fishing, I'm catching fish. And that's what I want. And that's what you should be looking for too. So, when times get tough, or just in general, go low. Because you will catch fish. I'm telling you, like right now, the smallest rod I have is a 5/6 medium action rod on 4-pound tests. And I'm using light lures. I'm using, like, this is it. 4-pound tests, it's almost hair. 2-pound test is hair. I don't risk 2-pound though. 4-pound is just what you need. I'm telling you. When I say 4-pound test, I'm talking with little stuff like the Rapala Floater Classic, the little one like that. Perfect. Reel that in real nice and easy, or just to give it a little speed, and bass will just whack it. They whack it. Or not just that, maybe you can use a little Johnson swim bait, or maybe a trout magnet, and you'll catch fish. If fishing is something you want to get better at, start low. And then you could build off from there. Now, I'm not saying you should use 4-pound tests, but you should switch out to 8-pound. 8-pound is basically close enough to finesse. That is basically where the bass are going to have a harder time seeing it. So basically, on an 8-pound test, you could throw a lot of small, good-sized things. I'd throw a weightless Texas rig. I'd throw small shaky heads, wacky rigs, Ned rigs, maybe little crankbaits, maybe little poppers, a hula popper, maybe, stuff like that, And it will increase your fishing game by a crap ton. Now, that's about what I've got for y'all today. Now, I don't upload a lot, because I don't have a cameraman, so I can't record my fishing really well. But I am going to try working on finding a way to record for you guys. Somehow. I hope you guys learned something from this video, or took away something at all, because I took a lot of effort into making this video. And I hope you guys really did enjoy the video. If not, I'm sorry, and have a good night.